Chapter 9. Your Pivot Point Past. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Martin Luther King, Jr. Your unique pivot point process results will become your superpower. After doing the work of crafting a clear image of your life's flow using the tools in the previous chapters, it's time to refine the ideas and application of finding pivot points. This part of the process keeps you on track and energized to continue working. It's a staircase of sorts to climb towards your fullest expression in a stable, predictable way. To begin, go back to your earliest memories of recognizable pivot points in your personal timeline. Think of my previous example of using a word processor. Some pivot points are easy to remember, and some require a little more time and reflection. Take a trip back in your mind and time to your earliest memories. This exercise is ongoing, and you will find that some of your past pivot points will come to you at the oddest times, so carry a journal with a pen or an electronic device. Commit to the discipline of writing down these memories when they come to you so that you can enter them into your table later. Once you get into the rhythm and are accumulating your past pivot points, it's a sign that your subconscious is committing to the pivot point process. Remember that your mind has a remarkable capacity to work in the background on problem solving. This background processing is a useful tool to shine light onto those memories that prove difficult to access. It's like delegating the work to someone while you're busy with other tasks. As your table begins to fill, a sense of clarity for the process will begin to emerge. This simple table becomes the history of your breakthrough moments and an important reminder of your past ingenuity in locating clever solutions. Eventually, you will see all the major milestones and their connections to your ideal pivot points that propelled you forward. The Little Red Wagon. Let's begin with your earliest childhood memories. Think back to a time when you were learning about your world and, more importantly, where you may have struggled. Next, identify instances where you may have independently resolved a struggle or solved a problem with a novel approach. This may sound silly, but as a kid I was constantly working on something that involved moving things around, usually building something. I would find discarded things on the side of the road and at abandoned houses. Several blocks away from my childhood home on Piccadilly Lane were our two big treasure sites, what we called the Finding House and the Glass House. I can remember going back and forth, carrying one thing and then another, over and over. One day, we found an old beat-up red wagon. The handle was missing, but we found a rope and tied it off to the yoke. That wagon changed everything in our world. The ability to carry many things in something that rolled was the most fantastic feeling. We felt so empowered, so resourceful, so smart. It made our junk collecting adventures much easier and more productive. A simple wagon. It sounds so obvious, but we were just kids who didn't bother to question our arduous, time-consuming method of carrying everything by hand until we, by accident, found this useful, junky old wagon. With practice, you can uncover these metaphorical little red wagons all around you. These are discoveries of personal leverage that have the potential of making many challenging aspects of life easier. These are your pivot points. Finding past pivot points. Find a quiet place where you'll not be interrupted and close your eyes. This is mindful meditation intended to clear the clutter and provide access to these moments. Lower the ambient light and get comfortable. Control and focus on your breathing. Feel your body relax while you start scanning back to your earliest memories, remembering and even reliving your childhood. During this meditation, you are only looking for your little red wagon moments. This may take a few attempts to start remembering, but stay committed. You are scanning your earliest memories year by year for milestone moments of empowerment, and everyone has them. No matter your circumstances in history, if you have survived in this life, you have experienced these moments. The purpose of this meditation is to displace memories of weakness and disempowerment with success stories. These moments all feel the same. They feel joyful, hopeful, and happy. They feel empowering and give a sense of strength, confidence, inspiration, and invincibility. Most importantly, these moments flood you with gratitude and spark a desire to inspire and serve others. The pleasant feelings associated with these empowering memories come through the reward circuit in our neurobiology. These moments are the lifeblood of human compassion. Life, however, throws curveballs. It's important to remember we all move through a vast range of physical, mental, and emotional experiences. As we continually process life through our senses, we make choices based on that current sensory information. We then reflect on those choices through the changes the choices create. Our experiences are wide and deep, and to be sure, this life is not meant to be a comfortable, trouble-free existence. It is a life of obstacles, battles, and celebration. It is about learning the hard way and the easy way and blending the two for the sake of learning and growing and having a complete human experience. That you are here now, reading this, committing to this, and applying this is proof you are on a deliberate path. Once your past pivot points are listed in chronological order for you to see, you will understand the breakthroughs you had in the past and remember how you arrived at those moments. It is a beautiful moment and a moment for celebration, awarding you the ability to see that you can choose to live in a more directed, empowered, and purposeful manner. It's time to get started. Let's see what you remember. Now is the time to dreamstorm again and begin to build your pivot point past list. If you have one, use your pivot point effect journal or create a table for yourself. Let's call this one My Pivot Point Past. Use the example below, or for the online version, log into your account and choose My Pivot Point Past.